Welcome to the Coach Jake Ganus Show, sponsored today by WC Wright & Son. I'm your host, David Simpson. Joining us today is Offensive Coordinator Eric Kuykendall, Coach K. Coach Ganus is out of town today. He is in Montgomery. He's been selected to coach the defense for the North-South All-Star Game this year. So congratulations to Coach Ganus. Well, Coach K, congratulations on the big homecoming win Friday night.
Well, I appreciate it. It's always good to win a homecoming week. Homecoming can be really, really chaotic, and so you always worry about teenagers. But the kids handled it well. Coaches handled it well. Everything went well.
So looks like early on you showed a few wrinkles, especially on kickoff with the pass. 2 plays, you're in the end zone. It looks like from that you was pretty much in control of the game.
Well, it kind of felt like it, but there were some things we were wanting to accomplish on all phases of the game, special teams, defense, and offense, that we were wanting to work on and get a little bit better at, so to speak. And so we did in some areas, but we also got some things that we found, hey, maybe we need to work on this just a little bit more, maybe emphasize this a little bit more, and just improve in a couple of small areas. May not show up necessarily to fans, but in order to get where we want to get to, just some areas we had to address.
Charlie had a great night. I think he was 11 for 17 for 132 yards, 4 TDs. Some people have asked me on the deep ball, it's like his timing is just a little bit off. So is that something, these are fans asking about the throwing the deep ball. Is that something you work on? I'm sure you do every day in practice, trying to get that timing down with the receivers.
Oh, yeah. So that's something that, is obviously any offense. That's something you're going to address as a coach, as a player, that you want to be able to attack all areas of the field, make a defense defend all areas of the field. And, there's a couple reasons. There's always something. A lot of times it depends what the defense is trying to present to you.
Pass rush.
What's the defense secondary structure look like? What are they allowing? Matchups. Receivers have to run great routes. Pass protection has to be great. The quarterback has to make his reads. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And, for whatever reason, there's a couple of things that we need to tweak and work on, and we'll get there. I mean, we do a good job of it in practice, and it'll eventually translate into a game. So, we'll get there. Well,
I had to ask because that's sure. A lot of people were saying, man, Charlie's so close on the deep ball. And I said, well, it's something he'll get, like you said, the pass rush coming in or making him run out of the pocket. So has a great year. And I'm always fearful of mention about no interceptions because I'm afraid we're going to jinx him, but he has thrown no interceptions in 6 ball games.
Well, right. Turnovers is something we really emphasize, and so we want to take care of the ball. And there's been times he's put the ball in some good places for the most part. Anytime you throw the ball a lot on offense, there's a chance of a turnover, right? It's the old adage, there's only 3 things that can happen when you pass the ball, and only one of them's good.
Yeah.
So, we just try to emphasize that. We don't live on, hey, no interceptions, but we do want to make it a mantra to take care of the football in whatever way that we can. So
I noticed he ran the ball a little bit, and one play he came around and got hit pretty hard. Is that something you stress that, hey, if it's there, run, or you rather just throw it out of bounds, or what's the process on that?
Well, right. So that's a good question. And as a coach, there's not really anything, we can do at it because we're not out on the field. So we can always go should on film and say, hey, we think we should have done this, done that. This is what we want to do in this situation. But when you're not playing, at the end of the day, kids are going to be kids. Athletes are going to be athletes. So if he thinks he can get yards, get yards. If you can't get yards, get rid of the ball. Be smart. But, he got hit. Took a really hard hit. 2 guys hit him, and he popped up quicker than the defense did.
He did.
And so, that's always encouraging. He had a smile on his face, and he just loves playing football, and so he's getting better every week. And if he can run, great. If he can't, get rid of the ball and be smart. Let's play the next play.
Looks like you were able to sub a lot in this game. You were up. One question I wanted to talk about. You were up, I think, 41-6 at halftime. How, as coaches, do y'all handle that, knowing the players seeing the scoreboard? How do you handle it? Okay, it's 0-0. In the back of their mind, they know, hey, we're in pretty much control. How do you get that to where, hey, guys, we got to go out and put more points on the board?
Right. So it starts with us coaches because in coaching, you can have a tendency 41-6 to, mentally draw back and take your foot off the gas. But so we've got to set that persona that it doesn't matter what the score is. If whatever our goal is on that drive, get to the end zone, convert first downs, whatever we're trying to do, you can't scoreboard watch. You can't look at the scoreboard. And so it starts with us as coaches to emphasize that philosophy. And then, to get it over to the kids, it's not easy. to play that 0-0 game in your mind. But you really emphasize it. You got to practice it. It can't be something you just do for the first time on Friday night. It's not just going to flip a switch. You've got to maintain that spring training, summer workouts, fall camp, all the way through the season. And that's the only way that you can really get there. And there were some things that we did, and we got that lead, which was great. Defense gave us some short fields. We were working some things we needed to work on and trying to attack them and what they were presenting to us. But, we wish we could have done a little bit more there in the second half. Even when you sub, the guys know the standard. And, the guys that get in there, they work hard too. And so we want to move the football, and we want to produce points. We want to produce yards. We want to keep our defense off the field as much as we can, regardless of the score. And so it's just it's top down, coaches, players, everybody having that 0-0 mindset.
So I know Coach Ganus said after post-game interview, he was kind of, I won't say he was upset at the offense. I know we were in Shelby County's territory a lot second half. Was it just a lack of execution, or was it just looking at the scoreboard type thing?
So maybe a combination of both. The idea of finishing is still something that you got to preach and live by. And so, we spent a lot of time in their ends or their side of the field in the second half, and we couldn't get any points out of it. And so, that's something definitely we've got to address, and we've got to make it a point of emphasis. And so we were not happy with it as an offensive staff. Coach Ganus wasn't happy with it as the head coach. And there's always something to work on. And so that's been a fuel, especially for those guys. Hey, when we get our shot, we got to make the most of it, because they want to be on the field too. So if you're not necessarily a starter, you got to take advantage of the chances that you get.
So we were able to sub Kevin James, 2 carries for 69 yards. That had to be awesome to see him take that long run to the house Friday night.
Oh, it was, yeah. And we were at that time. We were trying to get some first downs and trying to move the ball. And KJ, what we call him, he does a great job. Gives us great reps in practice, great looks in practice, helping our defense prepare each week. But man, he has great nights on JV games. And he's a young guy, but he's got a lot of potential, and he just runs hard. And for some reason, he's hard to bring down, and he showed that Friday night.
It was awesome. Also, too, Will Yates getting the extra point. That was just – I didn't even know you made the sub. So can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes, sir. So we've got multiple kickers that we feel good about that we get quality reps in practice with, and gets just does a really good job for us and takes pride in what he does. So, that's an instance where we're talking about where somebody gets a chance to do something that they make the most of it, and they show the coaches that, hey, I can do this, and it gets the players' confidence in them by them stepping up. So that was great to see as well.
Awesome. Well, Coach K, thank you for joining us and talking about Shelby County. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about Springville.
Sounds good.
You're watching the Coach Jake Ganus Show, sponsored today by WC Wright & Son.
You think this is just a gray metal box, right? Let's get a little closer. Closer? Amanda brand gas furnaces are designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA. So this baby is true red, white, and blue.
With our summer smoothies and poolside quesadillas at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Welcome back to the Coach Jake Ganus Show, sponsored today by WC Wright & Son. Joining me now is senior linebacker Zane Smith and junior wide receiver Braden Wright. Guys, thank you for joining me today on the Coach Jake Ganus Show. Zane, great year so far. 81 total tackles. How do you think you played Friday night against Shelby County?
I played decent. All those tackles are from the D-line, keeping the O-lineman off me. They're setting the line of scrimmage and letting me play. So,
well, Brett Staggs, who's our color commentator for the 411 Network, nicknamed you and Gavin Brothers of Boom.
Brothers of Boom.
And so we like watching you guys. Y'all are all over the field. big game I know coming up Friday night, but big homecoming win for you. You're a senior, your last homecoming. Any thoughts on that?
I'm just glad it was with Moody.
Understand. So has any colleges reached out? Are you getting any interest from any colleges?
I've gotten a few, not really though.
Not much. Well, I don't know why, because you're all over the field. We got a big game Friday night with Springville. I'm sure you was able to watch some film on Springville. Some thoughts on that?
I mean,
them?
they run the triple option. They're pretty good at it.
So how hard is defending the triple option?
You have to be disciplined. You do your job, and then as a team, if you all do your job, you can stop the triple option.
Are you the captain of the defense? Are you the one calling the plays?
I'm the one yelling the most out there. Yes, sir.
So you, once they line up, you have to basically stay focused, and I'm sure they're going to show a lot of misdirection with this offense.
Yes, sir.
Did they pass any out of it?
They pass 2 or 3 times a game.
That's pretty much. So they're pretty much a ball control offense.
Yes, sir.
So this is kind of a personal game for you.
I mean, it's not too personal anymore, but yes, sir.
So Friday night, I was going to ask you, y'all lined up to punt. I think for the first time, they called your number on that. You like being in the fake punt formation?
Yes, sir. It was pretty fun.
So this senior year, you got a lot of colleges or some colleges looking at you. Thoughts about after football? What do you want to do when you become an adult, I guess?
I want to go to college and become an orthopedic surgeon.
There you go. Yeah, that's not a bad line to get into. Well, Zane, we're looking forward to this Friday night. Being on the road, I know it's going to be a tough game. I mean, Springville's going to be ready, and it's a region game. So looking forward, praying for a good, healthy game for Friday night. Braden Wright joins us now, junior. So you're back 100% from your injury.
Yes, sir.
I know you didn't get to play a lot Friday night. Was that because they just want to keep you healthy for this game?
Yes, sir. They told me that these 4 region games are more important than last week.
So can you kind of go into the rehab process, because it looked like it was a pretty serious injury against Alexandria. Can you tell us how the rehab went?
All right, so at first when it happened, they thought I had broke my ankle and my shin. And then they sent me to downtown, and they put me in a boot for like a week, 2. And I was going in to schedule my surgery the following Monday. And they said that I had just torn like a couple ligaments in my foot. And my recovery was like really, really intense because I had to get back soon. Well, I wanted to get back soon. But I actually got released from therapy today, probably like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, good deal. So you're 100% for Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Thoughts on Springville's defense?
They're all right. Yes, sir. They're not like, they don't like to tackle really good. I don't know. They just do a lot of stuff on the field that we haven't seen.
Yeah. So you got to be disciplined on
Yes,
offense as well. So your main focus is to get open.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got any new wrinkles? I know you don't want to give that away, but is there something? Are y'all going to pretty much stay with your same offense, or are you going to throw in some new formations?
We have some new things, but we're probably going to stay with the same things most of the night.
Well, we're looking forward to Friday night. Thank you for joining us today. I know we late trying to get some scheduling conflicts this week. We're filming the coach's show, but appreciate both of y'all. Looking forward to a great game Friday night, big region game. I'm praying for a good, healthy. Y'all stay healthy, no injuries, and we'll hopefully come away with a win Friday night. Again, thank you both for joining us, and now you got to go back to class. So right now we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Coach K about Springville.
You think this is just a gray metal box, right? Let's get a little closer. Closer. Yeah, Manor brand air conditioners are designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA.
Play hard, play to win. But when sports injuries occur, you can rely on Encore. Our professional team treats all types of sports-related injuries for athletes of all ages. Our licensed therapists work closely with the patient, your family, and physician to get you back into action quickly and safely. At Encore, we love to see you move. Log on to EncoreRehab.com for a location near you.
What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
What if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he tramples him and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back and he tramples him some more and he's like, I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
Welcome back to the Coach Jake Ganus Show, sponsored today by WC Riding Sun, a proud supporter of Moody Blue Devil football. Coach K, we're back in region play. Springville Tigers on the road. They have a new offense. It's that Air Force triple option, wing tee or whatever. Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm on the offensive side of the ball. So, we prepare for Springville's defense. But just being at practice, being in staff meetings and hearing the defensive coaches, that's never easy to prepare for. Requires a lot of discipline. Takes a lot of time, a lot of eye discipline, just as much as physical discipline, just to read your keys and do what you're supposed to do. Because just from what little bit I've seen, Springville does a pretty good job of what they're running, and so I know they've got some good players in some key spots, which what you got to have for that offense, and they do a good job, and we know they're well coached, so it'll definitely be a big challenge for us.
So for their defense, you being the OC, what type of defense do they run?
So, they do a variety of things. Just, probably as much as any team that we play, just giving you multiple looks, blitzes, coverages, fronts, defensive boxes. They do a really good job, and the kids execute it pretty well. So that's always a challenge. It requires you as an offense to be, again, extremely disciplined. And so usually the mark of a pretty good football team is to get beat, the team has to be really, really disciplined that beats you.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to have to be if we want to have success Friday nights. Both sides of the ball, all three phases really, is just be very disciplined for all the stuff that they're going to do.
Well, we have 4 straight region games, and the first one's always the most important one, because then you can kind of set the stage of who's, trying to get a spot in the top 4, obviously. Springville's had, they've won 2. They've lost some tough games. They lost a tough one Friday night against Aniana, so I know they'll be ready. Thoughts about practice this week? How's the focus been?
So the kids have been really focused this week, and maybe it's because last week was homecoming that we're kind of back on our normal routine this week. But they've been a lot more focused, a lot more keyed up, and ready to play. And they know that this game, the way we treat it around here is this game's the biggest game of the year because it's the next one.
Yeah.
And so everything we got, every bit of focus we've got has been on this week and trying to go over to Springville, where it's always hard to get a win at, and find success. So, yeah.
They always say you want to peak on Friday nights. You play as good as you practice. How's it been as far as, are they starting to peak too early, or you think we're going to be ready Friday night?
Well, I think we'll be ready on Friday night. It's always a process of finding that happy medium of getting your guys ready to play Friday night. We want to be as perfect at practice as possible because we believe that you're going to play on Friday night the way that you practice throughout the week. And so you definitely have to find that happy medium between making sure your guys are mentally and physically prepared for the game, but not overdoing it as well. And so that's always the tough line. And you gotta evaluate that each week as you go through a season. We're really banged up, as every team is during a football season. And so you just got to monitor where are we at, what do we have to do to get ready. And it's not an easy thing for a coach, and you're always second guessing yourself. So you just try to do the best that you can do as a staff to put your kids in a good situation and get them ready for Friday.
Friday night against Shelby County, you showed a lot of different formations. So as a coaching staff, I know you've probably put all those plays in earlier in the year. When do you decide with Coach Ganus, okay, let's show this formation tonight?
Well, a lot of it dictates on, trying to find what our kids do well based on what the defense is presenting to us. And so it's kind of a mixture between those two ideas for where we need to get to. Sometimes there's some things that we've looked at, hey, maybe we didn't look at that enough. Let's go back and work on that some more. Is that something that we're going to need as we roll throughout the season? Or is this something that we've looked at and say, nah, I don't think that puts us in a situation to be successful? And because we're always trying to be creative on offense, because, defensive coaches are really smart. They analyze every single thing that you do. And if you, give them a lot of tendencies and, stay really one-sided in your formations and your motions and your alignments, sooner or later they're gonna get you. And so as an offense, you try to stay ahead on that, and you don't always do it, but you try.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you giving us some insight for Friday night. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. at Springville. The 411 Network will start broadcasting about 6 p.m., re-showing the Coach Jake Ganus show. We'll probably go live for pregame around 6:30. So we thank you for watching the Coach Jake Ganus show, sponsored today by WC Ride and Son, and we'll see you next week as we recap the Springville game.